It's too good to not already record.
Watch. Oh, yeah. Remember, don't lean forward. Move the camera closer. As we both lean back. Lean back.
This is why we hit record before we actually hit record for the episodes, that way you can see
If you don't watch this, you're
this
just
dynamic.
missing out.
It's behind the scenes exclusives for our YouTube
Ding.
viewers. Ding. I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, this is too awesome. Are you ready to get your life together?
Wait.
Now I'm ready.
You gotta say the author's name because
Okay.
Marie.
What? Marie.
Mary. Mari. Mari.
Will you show the book to the audience whenever I talk about it? Well done. You gotta
Wait.
hip hop.
Is it that? Yeah.
Hip
that
hop. Hip hop. This is a minute and a half of shenanigans.
If you guys wonder what we're like when we're not here,
It's exactly like this. This is just a taste. It's 9:40. This is when the youngsters are going out.
But we used to nap, and then maybe not both of us. I used to nap and then wake
You're
up.
so smart.
Or I just
Oh my goodness. How would we like to open this?
like we do every night.
Try and take over the world.
Welcome to episode blah blah blah.
But like something else, because it's a new. Well, maybe we'll have Brian do the thing.
I'll make Brian do
All right. Faren, it's
Yes.
episode 40.
40.
There's so many episodes.
10 more than 30.
10 less than 50.
Dang it.
I didn't really mean to go pessimistic with that. I thought we were...
Progress, people.
All that to say...
They haven't taken us off the air yet.
Yet. That's right, baby. 40 episodes in. That feels... remember back to the first episode?
Remember when we didn't know how to do an episode? Or get it up on the thing.
Yeah.
And you figured it all out.
You know what? That's exactly right.
It's 100%
Well, obviously
true.
we both figured it out.
No.
We,
No, don't lie. They want to know. The brains behind this operation are sitting right next to me.
You flatter me. It's also just Jesus. So thanks
Praise.
for providing a path
Yes.
for this. But yeah, episode 40, we're starting a new mini-series. We're super pumped about it. It's Marie Forleo's Everything is Figureoutable. So yes, if you have not read the book yet, and maybe you're a little, you don't like to hear all the bad words.
Oh, yes.
Marie is like, I love Jesus, but I cuss a little.
Mhm.
So we're not going to cuss on our podcast. Number one, that's the thing you have to check off to make sure you're filed into the right system.
See? She
So-
knows all the details.
We'll tell you about the story if you don't want to read certain things. But again, it's a great book, great concept. Again, it's everything is figureoutable, so it's her whole life motto.
If vulgar language offends you, this may not be the book for you, but we promise to give you the clean and edited breakdown of all the good stuff.
Yeah.
So, we always encourage our listeners to buy the book to glean your own insights.
For sure.
We always share what we feel is most important and applicable to us and our audience, but that doesn't mean there's not some gold still left in the books that we review.
Right, we don't ever tell y'all everything about every book because we do want you to read it on your own. But we just wanted to give you guys a heads up in case that was a thing. And she also gives you a heads up in the book too. She said if words like beep or beep bother you, then let's kindly separate and part ways. So good on you, Marie Forleo, for doing that to make sure some people don't get offended.
Yeah, she lets you know up front instead of learning like the hard way.
So listening to the audiobook is fun. I like the way she talks and interacts. So
It comes from a place of humor. Like it catches you off guard and makes you giggle. It's not like she's cursing at you
Right.
or out of
Right.
like anger whatever, sort of. So why did we pick this book, Brooke?
Well, look at you.
That was difficult to say.
So I like the whole premise of it. So again, it goes back to if you don't, she even debunks certain things throughout the whole book. Like if you're trying to learn something or be able to accomplish something, there is a way to do it. So either like not having the knowledge, okay, there's YouTube. You can learn anything. It's out there on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
So it just little things like that. Again, it is a personal growth book, so it's helping you chase your dreams. She gives great exercises to do throughout the book. So obviously we can't tell you all the information because we do want you to read it on your own, but we're not gonna also give away her trade secrets when they're in the book for you to read on your own.
Yeah, there's definitely some good soul searching in there, some therapeutic practices too. So maybe you've thought about therapy before, but you're not quite sure. If you can have that self-discipline to walk through the exercises, they are very beneficial. I also like how she talks about like some of our biggest excuses for not going after what we want, like not enough time, not enough money.
I don't know how.
Yes. And so if those happen to cross your mind, then this is the book for you.
Well, and I think to some extent everyone thinks those three thoughts. Either I don't have time, I don't have money, I don't know how at some point. But we'll dive into that later on in the book. But again, it just, if there's a will, there's a way. It always goes back to that. If there's a will, there's a way.
And then she talks about how kind of under those excuses is fear.
Right.
So maybe you are honest enough with yourself to be like, I'm making these excuses, but what it really is I'm just afraid to fail, afraid of how much commitment it is going to take, all the fears.
What if I lose this?
What are people going to think of me? Oh my goodness. They go on and on.
I like how it just makes you aware that you're not the only one thinking these things, because sometimes you can get stuck in your own head, or of course like the devil wants you to feel alone when you're struggling with something. So again, back to being vulnerable. If we talk about these things, oh, I'm struggling with this too. Great, here's how I got through it. Let me help you. So I like that aspect.
And she is a very successful coach and
for sure
gives different examples of very successful people in all walks of life and professions that she's helped. So again, it gives validity to what she's preaching and the practices she suggests.
Right, and so we're also going to put our Jesus spin on it. She is Catholic. We're going to throw in our church beliefs as well, what we believe on our side. So when she says things like, everything you need to accomplish is already within you, like you have the power within you, we'll throw in through Jesus kind of thing. So that's how we're going to kind of put our spin on it. And we'll have a heavier emphasis on that. So keep that in mind. If you read the book, like, this isn't what the book says. This is what the... So we're just adding that spin.
And as always, after we get through the book, we'll follow it up with some interviews. And we always try to include an interview to say how this would apply to your walk with Christ.
Right. So. Okay, so after, there's the intro. And in this book, she talks about how you're going to learn certain things. So Faren, will you let us know, if one would pick up this book and read it, what are some takeaways that they'll get?
No, I already knew before you gestured to
Oh,
me.
you were looking at me like I got an arm growing on my head.
But I thought that's what you were going to ask, but I thought that was the answer, but your question, I wasn't sure if that was the question you were asking.
So,
I kind of talked about these.
And she is a very successful
time and
coach
money.
and
for sure.
gives
Time.
different examples of
Okay.
very successful people in
I'm caught
all
up now.
walks of life and professions that she's helped. So again, it gives validity to what she's preaching and the practices.
I feel like it's about to...
Right, and so
Why
we're
don't we, like,
also
make
going
some
to put
jokes?
our Jesus. Keep that in mind. If you read the book, this is what the
How
book
do you
says,
make
this
a
is what the
Kleenex
book
stand?
says.
You put a little boogie in.
Joke with them, I'm trying to...
Followed up with some interviews, and we always try to include an interview to say how this would apply to your walk with Christ.
Right.
Try to...
Okay, so after, there's the intro. And in this book, she talks about how you're going to learn certain things. So, Faren, will you let us know if one would pick up this book and read it?
Already
What are some
laughing.
takeaways
Are you ready? Are you ready? The audience is. Behind the scenes madness.
Oh my gosh. Okay. No, not to you. To me.
Get it together. Are you ready for me to hit record?
No.
We'll be back after a short word from our sponsor.
Into the end. No. Okay. Oh, that would have been bad. Dad.
Hi.
That's
Hi.
code for can you talk? Recording. Call you soon. No, I will. Yes, I will. I will.
What are the odds
I
that
just-
Kim watches at this moment and sees that you're not calling him?
He won't. Are you dead? Okay. Okay, so some of the specific things she'll help you with and has helped us with is finding 2 free hours in your day, ways to overcome your lack of money, practice that'll help you achieve your goal. You'll be more likely to achieve your goal by 42%. That's a big margin. And how to deal with criticism, haters, and the imposter syndrome. Why are you looking at me like that?
Well, I'm looking at you like that because in my head I'm like, yes, I have thought this before. Yes, I have thought this before. What is it?
I don't know. You were listening so intently.
Because
It
I'm
threw
like,
me off.
amen, amen, yeah.
Yeah, these are all the things I wish I would have had a long time ago.
Right. If someone could have told me 2 years ago that I would have been, or 4 years ago, that I would be able to find 2 extra hours in my day, what? So,
Yeah,
that's gold.
the statistics she'll share about how we spend most of our time are quite alarming. So if you're like, there's no way, you'd be surprised.
Yes. So, and I like how that kind of ties into chapter 1. So chapter 1 is just kind of like a forward, how she came up with the everything is figureoutable. So her mom, so they grew up in New Jersey, or she lived in New Jersey, and her mom would know how to stretch $1. Like that was her skill set. So Marie kind of figured that out as well. So there's a Tropicana orange transistor radio. The mom had turned in, what do you call it?
Proof of purchase.
Proof of purchase, and Tropicana Orange sent this little radio that looked just like a little orange that had the red and white striped straw sticking out of it as the antenna. And there's just the sentimental story about how she could always hear the radio, and one day she would hear the radio on the roof. Like, Mom, what are you doing up there? Oh, I'm fixing the roof. Or she hears it and the mom's under the sink. What are you doing, Mom? I'm fixing the sink. So she ended up figuring out that what did her mom say? She said,
She asked her mom, how do you know how to do all of this? And she said, don't be silly. Everything is figureoutable.
yeah, so you can do whatever you set your mind to. Just roll up your sleeves, get in there and do it. Everything is figureoutable. So I like how from the beginning, growing up, she saw that modeled. And so she knew that worked.
You know what I like about the story is she could have interpreted it very differently. She could have said, man, I grew up and I saw my mom struggling all the time. Oh my gosh, my mom had to work and sacrifice so hard. And I think in the mom's statement that you just read about you roll up your sleeves, you get in there and you just do it. Everything's figureoutable. She could have missed the positive role modeling that was taking place. That no, I want more and I want better, and so I'm figuring it out. Like I'm choosing this because of what my end goal is.
Right.
So.
And I like how the mom spun it too. She could have said, we're struggling, so we got to penny pinch and try to get this. But she was like, no, if it's something that you can do, just do it. Yeah. Learn how to do it and do it. That way you can either save money. Eventually, after a while in practice, you can save time, and you'll have the stuff on hand ready to go. Like she was able to fix the roof because she had stuff in the garage already from another project. So she was able to just get up there and fix it.
Yeah, I was a little sad though when her radio stopped working.
Oh.